Good morning everybody, it's investigation day again, so you're going to have to be a bit of a critical thinker again. You're going to have to be detectives and try and think outside the box as you do today's maths investigation. It's all about joining dots together. Here is one dot. No lines can join a single dot. Here are two dots that can be joined by one line. Now when I'm talking about lines here, I'm talking about straight lines, not talking about curvy lines. I know you could draw a lot of curvy lines between two dots, but for the purposes of this investigation, you're going to draw straight lines, which will mean you either need to draw very, very straight or you'll need to use a ruler. If you haven't got a ruler, find something with a flat edge you can use to draw a straight line with. Now, on a piece of paper, I would like you to draw three dots. And I would like you to see, if you join all the dots together, how many lines that would mean that it's drawn between all the dots. So, you're going to have to pause the video. Pause me now, draw the three dots and draw lines between them. Okay, and if you paused it and drew the dots, you should see something that looks a bit like this. So if you drew it like I'd expect, you should have something that looks a bit like this on your piece of paper now. Three dots equals a maximum of three lines. You can only draw three lines between the three dots. There's no other way you could draw a straight line between any more dots because there are only three dots. So three dots equals a maximum of three lines. Now I'm going to ask you to pause the video again, because I'd like you to draw four dots this time. And once you've drawn your four dots, see how many lines you can draw between the four dots. Off you go. Okay, so you should have something that looks a bit like this on your page. Four dots equals a maximum of 6 lines. If you didn't draw them quite in a square, you might have something that looks a bit like this. It may not be as fabulous and pink as mine, but you've got 4 dots there and you still have 6 lines. It doesn't matter how you draw the dots, they can be spread all over your page and you will still find you can only draw a maximum of 6 lines. It might be easier though if for the dots in this investigation you could put them on a grid if you do have any lined paper, or you could measure them to make sure they're an even space apart, just to make it a little bit easier to draw the lines and to see where you are. You're thinking mathematically now, so if you think cleverly and you think in an easy way rather than making it difficult and complicated like my fabulous pink thing, then it will make your maths easier today. So we're going to go for 5 dots next. Pause the video now, draw me 5 dots and then draw the lines between them. Off you go. And you should see something that looks a bit like this on your page. It might not be quite as neat as mine. I got mine off the internet, I didn't draw that one. But it should be something a bit like that, and you'll see that 5 dots equals a maximum of 10 lines. Now here's the challenge, and this is what I want you to do for the rest of the lesson. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots, and we've seen the number of lines that we can draw between those different sets of dots. I want you to try and draw 6 dots, 7 dots, 8 dots, 9 dots and 10 dots and see how many lines you can use to join every dot to every other dot on those. The number of lines should increase from there. This might be a little bit harder, so spread your dots out. You could even use a piece of paper for each new diagram that you draw. I will give you the full answers on Monday morning. I'll post them on the class wall. Now, as a bit of an extra challenge, and you might want to ask your parents if they could help with this, if you have a look, what is the relationship between the number of dots and the number of lines? There is a very clear mathematical relationship between the number of dots and the number of lines. You might need a bit of help to find that out. It's hard. And using that relationship, this is really, really hard now, you could tell me how many lines can be drawn if there are 250 dots. Okay, good luck.